Hey y'all, welcome back to Twin Oaks Farm Poultry on YouTube here at Twin Oaks Family Farm. There's Mr. Twin Oaks. He's making it in for the evening. The guys have been working on some projects today, and I am trying to work on getting Saturday show and tell and share on the farm done. Hi Jared.
Hello.
How are you? Oh, this project is just not going well for me.
I'm better. I'm better.
You're better?
Yeah, my shoes
What
are
do you
coming
mean?
off.
You've had enough.
My boots are.
You've had enough for today.
Yeah.
Are your dogs barking?
The dogs
That's what
are
they
barking.
say, right? The dogs are barking. Get
Yeah.
those boots off. So I'm really struggling with getting this video done. So I've got to actually bend down here and get my paper. I've tried to do this video about 5 times. It's not going well. Either I miss the record button, or I have the camera angled the wrong direction, like it's not supposed to be on selfie and it is, or something like that. So it's a mess.
Well, you know,
how's your day?
Well, you know, you didn't catch me whenever I pulled in.
Well, I did actually.
Well, no, really, you didn't.
Why? What do you mean?
Because, you know, I got out of the truck and I put the horse head on, and I was
Why didn't you bring it up here?
running around on the ground.
Why didn't you bring
trying
it?
to get your attention, and you didn't see me.
You did not.
Yeah, oh, yes,
When?
I did.
When?
Just a little bit ago.
No, I got the truck.
Yeah, but I was when I.
It's not going to be in this video
Yeah.
because I had it messed up.
Because I parked the truck and put it on.
Well,
You was out here in the front.
we will show y'all. Oh, yeah. Well, that was another attempt at this
No.
video that wasn't
Yeah.
going well. So we'll show y'all the horse head another time then, because you'll want to see that. So, but today on Saturday Show and Tell and Share, it's a little different. I wanted to tell the viewers about a couple of online resources that I really like. One is really an interest to poultry keepers, whether it's egg production birds or meat production birds or even game birds. Like, what are game birds? Quail?
Quail,
Pheasant?
quail.
Pheasant and quail.
And actually, we have a guy in Watertown, Ohio, which is like
So rural Southeast
like
Ohio, USA.
5-6 miles from us.
Yeah.
He actually raises, I think, quail and pheasants. And he sells.
So he
them.
hatches the eggs out, maybe? Like in
I
an
think he
incubator?
I think he does hatch. I'm not 100% sure.
And he sells
But
them.
He sells them for these hunting clubs that do the game bird hunting. That's what he does. And,
So, yeah.
So yeah, he has a facility set up where he does that.
So a place like Stromberg's, like this poultry supplier, would be of interest to somebody even in that
Yeah, and
venture, I guess.
yeah.
Because Stromberg's has egg bird stuff and meat bird stuff and game bird stuff, and
Right.
they sell chicks and they sell supplies.
yeah, and I'm not sure where he gets his chicks,
know.
or I don't know if he gets chicks or he hatches them. I'm not sure
Yeah,
how he does it.
but can raise them and sell them.
Yes, he raises them and then sells them for game hunting.
Okay, so that's the one. And I'm glad that you're here, because then maybe when we tell about that, you can tell the viewers what we've bought there. And so we'll get to that. And then, so that's one website that will really be interesting to poultry keepers and any kind of bird keepers like that. And then the other website is just a special interest website, but it has a wide appeal if you appreciate and value kind of that old world feel of rural lifestyle and kind of a return to simplicity that includes things like DIY projects and building up your home place into what you envision for it, and gardening and recipes and you know, the traditional sense of farm. So I've got a couple websites for people that I want to share with them, and then a couple of little, I guess, personal stories on that. So let's start with the website. So I just wrote it down to try to show them where it got strong light, so we're getting a lot of shadow and stuff. But strombergschickens.com. So right here, strombergschickens.com, and it's Stromberg's. And we are familiar with them for a very specific poultry supply. But they have feeders, waters, egg cartons, live birds as far as chicks, probably cages if you need like battery cages in your operation for your chickens. All kinds of specialty poultry supplies. So that's the one place, the one website, online source, and then the other one is oldworldgardenfarms.com. And if you search that one, I noticed there's several website names that look very similar, but if you're wanting to look for the one that I'm referring you to, it's oldworldgardenfarms.com. So I'll tell you about that one first, and then we'll talk about Stromberg's. But I also wanted to show y'all this. Sometimes we get to just show things just because they're kind of meaningful to us, personal memento. But this is actually from 2021, so about 3 summers, falls ago. But this was the 1 year that all 3 of our sons were all involved in high school football as players simultaneously. So let me see. This is our oldest one here, and our middle one right there, and our youngest one here. And currently our youngest one is a high school senior. But I always liked this picture because the team would pause for prayer like at the end of the game. And it just so happened in that one, our 3 fellas all lined up together and were beside each other, and always really liked that picture. But we had our season opener last night. So high school football in rural Southeast Ohio, USA is back on the gridiron, and it was a fun evening for the young men on our team because they had a shutout victory on the road for their opener. So 40-0 was the score, and was really a great night for all of them because the varsity boys played well on the field, and then the JV boys actually got opportunities to get time on the field and reps on the field. So just a great game for our set of guys to start this season with. So really happy for them. So I'll talk about oldworldgardenfarms.com for a minute, and then if you'll help me talk about Stromberg's, that'll be great, and then we'll wrap it up. So let us take this quick opportunity to thank you subscribers and thank you viewers. Our channel, because of y'all, grew to just over 1,000 subscribers from 2023 in February to August of 2024. We appreciate it, and we do enjoy your feedback in the comments. So please feel free to put a shout out in the comments where you're watching from, and maybe if you have a great online resource you want to share with us, let us know something online that you think all of us here in this community would enjoy looking up. And also we offer memberships on the channel, so if you want to check into that, press that join button, scroll through there for information, and your memberships will help support our video content projects and our on-farm projects, and we appreciate your time and effort to support our channel. And if you get a membership, we appreciate your purchase of a membership as well. So oldworldgardenfarms.com, I actually found some YouTube videos from Old World Garden Farms, and I could tell by the monologue on the videos that they were from Ohio, so that piqued my interest, so I looked it up. So basically it's just a set of hosts that like 15 plus years ago decided they wanted to build a farm they'd always dreamed of, and so they worked at it and ended up being so successful with it that they actually relocated the farm to a bigger farm and are continuing to build it up. And their information on their website says they kind of started that as a way to keep their family and friends kind of updated on how that venture was going, and then it grew because people took an interest in asking about different recipes and different projects they did. And so the website is really fantastic. And actually I went on there and looked up some articles on simple routines and returning to simplicity in your life. So I have a little story about that we'll end on. But oldworldgardenfarms.com if you're interested in just that kind of appreciation of being somewhat self-sufficient and building up the lifestyle you envisioned. Take a look at it, see if it's something you like. But Jared, if you would tell us about Stromberg's, what was kind of thinking of what we've bought from Stromberg's and what we know of where they are and how to reach them if you want to check into what they have or check into ordering something from them.
Well, the only thing we bought off of them was chicken crates, which when we got started, we bought, I don't know, would we buy 10 or 15?
I think initially we might have bought 15 or so,
Yeah,
and
we
then
ended up buying like 10 more
Yeah.
to get to 25.
yes,
Because we, as we get started now.
because we were working up to
Yeah.
flocks of 200 at the time.
And they, from what I found, they have different style of crates that you can get. But what we're buying is what they call the economy crate, which, works good for us.
I think it's great.
Yeah, it's fine. And it's, to me, it's from what I've seen, it's the cheapest crate you can buy.
Mm-hmm.
It's still all plastic, and the video that Melissa done, a few weeks ago about the crates. They're all plastic. They snap together. They hold up well. Our biggest thing is try to keep them inside so the sun don't get to the plastic.
Mm-hmm.
But they're called the economy crate.
So how many do we have now?
We don't have like 50.
We have, because we ordered 25 this
Yeah,
time. So yes,
I
so
think
we have 50 because
We
we
have- yeah,
wanted capacity.
yeah.
for
For
a-
400, for our 400 and
Okay.
so birds. But they're $40-some a piece.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get other crates that
Mhm.
may be easier to use because they
Mhm.
have different lids or slide, and sometimes they work a little harder. But for the price, ours are $43 or $44 a piece, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And the other ones, they can range from 50 to 70 or $80 a piece.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just your preference.
Yeah.
That's what we bought, and but they have they have everything.
Yeah.
They have waters, feeders,
Yeah.
everything. Like Melissa told you, they have chicks. They're.
That's amazing.
But I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think they're based out of Minnesota.
Okay.
But they have other warehouses around.
And so, do you remember where they were located that we called?
I think whenever you called this last time, they were Kentucky, weren't they?
I think it was Kentucky.
It was a warehouse in Kentucky.
Does Clarkson, Kentucky sound right? I think it was
I'm
Clarkson,
not sure.
Kentucky.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And it was about 6 hours away from
Mhm.
us. We thought about going and picking them up, but then it worked out. We went to our processor,
Yeah.
and he just he didn't charge us, which was great. But they allowed us to use their crates, and we took this last flock. And then we ordered, and we were waiting on them to come in. They come in.
Yeah.
So we have enough for this flock here. But
Yeah.
but no, as far as whenever we've looked for chicken supply stuff, Stromberg's have always been the cheapest for us
Yeah.
to buy anything.
But I will add with that, I'm going to try to turn the camera around. I will add with that though, practically all of our needs, not just supplies, but consumables and chicks, practically all of our needs for the meat bird operation, we network with Beverly Feed and Equipment in Beverly,
yeah,
Ohio
to
get.
And the feeders and waters.
Yes.
I don't think we could have got anywhere else. I don't know.
No.
I don't know where
They-
they
don't-
get them from.
I don't know
And
either,
that,
but they networked through their
they did.
resources to get those things from source to farm to help us. And likewise with our chicks and with our feed and with our bedding,
Yeah.
with those supplies, we work with them, and they help network with the resources they have to make those things from point A to point B happen with us. And so they are a great partner. And go ahead.
Well, what's so nice about they're local.
They're local.
They're
like,
local, and you
literally like
yeah.
4 miles from our home.
And you ask them something you're needing, and if they can get it for you, they'll get it
Yeah.
for you.
And so with the
it's-
crates though, we've gotten them from Stromberg's because that's really been the most accessible resource
Yeah.
that we've been
As
able
far-
to
yeah.
find them at.
Well, and and I've tried to go and seeing some of the auctions and trying to go, and the price. I mean,
Yeah.
the price we got them for brand new you couldn't beat.
No. No.
And so
Yeah.
it's
an
really worked out
investment,
for us.
but-
So as far as the
Yeah.
crates,
Do you feel it's easier, like if we're raising 200 to 400 birds at a time? I feel it's much easier for us to have the crates and be able to transport the amount of birds we have. Do you feel it is
Oh
too?
yeah, it is, because, and that's why the last time, see, what we could have done was use the crates that we had, and then what extra we could have loaded in a small stock trailer that we have on the farm, and then when we got there, we would have to load in their crates, and we've done that before with 100 birds, but not with 200 birds, 250, whatever it would have been.
It's a lot of extra.
It's a lot of
handling.
extra work.
Yeah.
And the way it worked out, that we used their crates, when we got there, we had them all on that, we've got a little utility trailer, we had them all stacked up. And the way it worked out was, the guy pulled up there with the forklift with a pallet, and he had a hook with a handle on it, and I could just hook him crates and drag him right off the trailer and right onto the pallet. And so we done 2 stacks, and he took them and put them what. We didn't have to handle all the crates.
And you know what I
And
even
that was
got to
really-
thinking? Why couldn't we actually put a pallet on the utility bed floor when we use it and load our crates onto the pallet, and he could take the pallet out with the
Well,
forklift?
and that's what I'm thinking.
We
this
can do that next time.
That's what I'm thinking this next flock we will try to do. We need to figure out, how many. I think there's 8 or 10 crates that you can fit on a pallet, and just have pallets to where they'll just be able to come up with forklift, take them off, and unload them.
I think that'd be great.
Yeah, it would be, because
We
the
need to do
handling,
that.
we've done it where we've had them out just on a trailer, and it is, which I do the handling of crates, which is not a problem, but it gets tiring if you've got 20 crates
Or 50.
to handle, and you've got 8 or 10 birds in them.
Yeah, it's heavy.
You're talking a lot of weight, and
Yeah,
so if you
it's
can
heavy.
make things easier for yourself,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah,
because
because easily, you get a loaded crate, it's easily 50 plus pounds a crate.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah,
and it's
so-
kind of awkward
yeah.
to handle.
And they do help.
They do.
help.
Our processors
There's-
are great.
They are.
They help
are
us.
very helpful.
Yeah.
But it's just handling them crates, and that's the same way with if you have loose birds and putting them in their crates. It's just helpful to have
Yeah.
your own.
It
And that's-
has helped us.
And it was an expense for us to buy these extra
Yeah.
crates, but
Yeah.
it's going to help us in the long
But I
run.
even think if you have a smaller operation too, where like maybe occasionally you're selling some birds or occasionally you're going and getting some birds for yourself, if you just even needed 1 or 2 crates, it'd still be really handy to have
is.
them if
Yeah.
you're going to use them any at all, because the birds are just so much safer in them. It's less stress on the birds, and it's more efficient for us as handlers or chicken keepers to utilize those crates if we have to transport animals. So kind of switching gears on topic here, but I wanted to get your help, Jared, on mentioning about our mill across the bridge across the Muskingum River that's like 4 miles from home. They have been there they've been in continuous operation in Beverly for like 60 plus years, haven't they?
I'm not sure.
I think it's
know
like
I know
60
it's
plus
been-
years.
but
And it's a multi-generational family business.
Yep.
Yeah. But it's really neat that we actually have been able to take, even just for our egg chickens, we've been able to take corn that y'all raised at the other farm, at the other family farm, at the farm for us, and take corn in there to the mill and have them grind it and add supplement to it to make it a complete feed for our egg layers that is the same formula that they would use
That
for
they
their
use.
house layer mash or egg production.
And I
feed.
think that's why.
And it's great feed.
And I think that's why everybody says our eggs are the best.
We get great feedback. We get great feedback on the eggs that we raise and sell for
Yeah.
egg sales around here. And we do believe that it has everything to do with the feed
feed we
management
feed.
and the feed program. And that comes from the formula put together at that local mill. And so I just think it's really a cool, unique thing to have a working mill so close by, and that's part of
Well,
our operation. But
Yeah, because because we
It's
used to have
neat.
we used to have 2, and one was bought out by a big corporation, and they shut it down.
Yeah.
And so, these local mills around are far and few between.
Yeah, they are.
So you're, what it comes down to is where you're buying processed feeds from corporations.
Whereas, and like what we get for our meat birds is, made by Kalmbach Feeds, which is in Ohio, I believe, up on Lake Erie. But Beverly Feed is already a Kalmbach dealer of that complete feed, and we want to feed that to our meat birds. But it's also so neat that we get to experience that working mill part of it. And y'all have done that at the farm for pigs as well, haven't you? Or do you get a complete feed already made at the mill for them?
We take her corn in and get it ground the same as they do.
And so you have a pig formula goes into that one to make it a complete feed for growing pigs, right? And finishing pigs. So anyway, I did think it was neat. We wanted to mention about Stromberg's and the crates because shout out to Buck in Oklahoma, USA, asked a question about where did we get those crates and where are they located. And so Buck, as Jared explained, we just have called and dealt with Stromberg's basically over the phone and through email to purchase our crates from them. We've done that kind of in 3 different sets of crates, and the most recent time we dealt with a location in Clarkson, Kentucky. And so I do think if anybody wants to search for that online, you can go to that strombergschickens.com and look them up and look through the different supplies that they offer, and they are a great poultry specialty supply resource. Ducks, you're right.
They have a supply for a lot of the things.
Yeah.
It's not just chickens.
Right.
They supply a lot of different things.
Yeah. And so then on the other, that Old World Garden Farms, I'm struggling to get the camera turned around. That Old World Garden Farms, also wanted to mention the article that I looked up. This I thought was neat. So about a week ago, I went and got myself this notebook at the dollar store. And my train of thought was just, I do better keeping up with appointments and obligations if I write it down on paper. And so I thought, I just need a notebook. And I made a things to do page, and I just write the things down, and when they're done, I cross them off. And then I made an appointments page, and I put each day and put the appointments, and when they're done, I just cross them off. And if something didn't get done that day, I just move it to the next day. Or if an appointment canceled and rescheduled, I just move it. And so I found it interesting when I went on to oldworldgardenfarms.com, and the single article that I looked up, I went to the category of, it was something like returning to simplicity or simple routines. And the first one was something like the 49-cent secret to success of simplifying your routine. And I thought, well, I got to look at that. I got to see that. And I looked that article up, and it was basically, and I had done this a week ago, and I just had been looking up Old World Garden Farms here in the last couple of days. But that article, it was basically advice to go get yourself like a 3-inch by 5-inch notebook, and at the beginning of the day to write everything down that you need to get done that day, and then at the end of the day to take 5 more minutes and look back through the list, and anything that you can't check off because you didn't get it done that day, just move it to the next day. And I thought, this website is right up my alley. So if you would be interested in looking up that Old World Garden Farms, check them out. I think you'll really like it. But they do actually have some videos on YouTube as well. So we are going to wrap this one up. Do have some bad news today in our meat bird operation. Jared doesn't know this yet. We did lose a bird to heat today. It was in the 90s today, and we lost one of the birds. So we're population 424 in the meat birds. And today's the 24th. They go to the processor on the 28th. So we are at 424, but there's also one still living that is for sure a cull bird. So it probably is not going to survive to finish. It definitely won't go to the processor. So we already know that puts us at 423 at best on this block.
And we've got temperatures this next week.
Yeah.
Mid-90s all week. So
mid-90s.
Of course, at least they, they go Wednesday, but
So we might.
It got warm. I mean,
it was in the high 90s today.
It was in the 90s today, and we're dry.
And very dry.
It's
very hot, very dry, and there's there's no rain in the forecast for like 8 days, 7 or 8 days, and then it's only like 30%.
And it's supposed to be in the mid-90s all week.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, you know,
So
we're struggling.
So we might lose a few more, but they are eating more.
Yeah.
But that also compounds problems with heat. So
Yeah.
anyway, so we're gonna wrap this one up. Bye, folks. Jared, tell the folks bye.
Bye.
Bye, folks.